So I took this Mercedes in to the dealer for its oil change, and the first one was easy enough because it was like 380 bucks, you know, no big deal. It was at 10,000 miles and great. It was a lot of money, but happy to get it done. The second one at 20,000 miles, I went in, kind of the same thing, and said, hey, I'm here to get another oil change, and they said great. And I went and got a cup of coffee in the waiting room, and after about 30 minutes the guy came in, he said, okay, come on over here. And I went and sat down at his desk, and he gave me a piece of paper, and it said almost $1,920 on it. And I said, well, I'm just here for an oil change. And he said, well, we can't really do an oil change for you unless you do a fuel filter change also, because that's scheduled on 20,000 miles. And I agree, if it needs to be done at 20,000 miles, then that's just awesome. But I said, well, I'll figure out the oil filter, the fuel filter on my own. And he said, well, we can't really do that. You either do your 20,000 mile service, or you really don't do it at all. And I said, no, just go ahead and give me the oil change. I don't need the fuel filter done. He goes, well, I might be able to get that done, but the problem is that I'm not going to be able to reset your computer, and you're going to have a really hard time doing it, so it's going to self-service. So I said, basically, you're forcing me to do this really expensive service when I know I can get it done somewhere else. He goes, well, you know, it kind of is what it is. And so I, you know, gave him the thumbs up, and I left. A real pain in the butt, because it takes a lot of time to schedule to get to the Mercedes-Benz dealership, get your appointment, show up to get it done. The long and short of it is, I'm going to do my first oil change on this Sprinter van, and I'm going to put it on YouTube. Any of you that know my channel, I do a yacht oil change on our boat. We spend 8 months a year on that thing. And I used to work at Jiffy Lube when I was a kid, from the age of 12 to 16 years old. And so I'm gonna show you how it goes. I'm gonna do it myself, and I'm gonna save a lot of money. I'm gonna do one on the fuel filter. And I'm also, have a lot of people ask how we keep this thing looking so nice, because it's not a garage van, it isn't. This sits in parking lots for months at a time, long-term parking while we're out on our boat. And if you look at it really closely, this is really nice. When we first got this Sprinter van, they don't do a very good job on the paint at all on these things, and it looked really cheap and horrible. But this thing is not in a garage, and as you can see, it looks perfect. And we keep it that way. These things are so expensive. But I'm gonna start with the oil change video, and then I'll go to appearance package and how we do that. And maybe I'll take you on a tour of this thing, because what's interesting about a Sprinter van also is, when we bought this thing, it was kind of a risk because there's so much money. Well, how about we love this so much, we never fly anymore. We know what a hassle it is to fly. We drive this thing from our home in the desert to our boat in the Pacific Northwest, through Utah, put a lot of miles on this thing, and we wouldn't sell it for anything, so therefore we're going to maintain it to death. Follow me while I put up a couple of these videos that show how we're going to maintain this thing and stay away from the dealer, because I hate feeling like I've been manipulated there.